What's up, everybody? Chad here, and welcome to the home of the Money Minute. Today I want to talk to you about a card that gets a bad rap. Gets a bad rap all the time. I've actually seen plenty of YouTube videos actually dedicated to how badly the card needs to be fixed or the things that need to be changed. And I'm kind of feeling like maybe it's because people are trying to do the job with the wrong tool. The card in question that we're going to be talking about today is the American Express co-branded Delta Reserve card, which frankly, I actually think is a powerful tool when put into the right hands and when put to the correct use, depending on what it is you're trying to accomplish with it. So now when we talk about the Delta Reserve, it comes from a family of co-branded cards that Delta, in cooperation with Amex, have put forward, where you have the Delta Blue. We're just talking the Delta SkyMiles Blue card. There's the Delta SkyMiles Gold card. There's a Delta SkyMiles Platinum card, which is not to be confused with the American Express Platinum, because technically they're both Amex cards, but this is just the SkyMiles Platinum as opposed to the renowned Amex Platinum. And then finally, at the very top of the ladder is the Delta Amex Reserve card. So now, I personally have a Delta Platinum, and as a little bit of a backstory, the Delta SkyMiles Platinum card is actually the card that inspired me to get into the points and miles game, and it actually got me to start watching YouTube videos and ultimately create a YouTube channel because I wanted to contribute to this vast community that has sprung up around miles and points. And frankly, from the very beginning, sometimes I actually kind of regret not getting the reserve first instead of the platinum, but once we get into the annual fees, you'll understand why. So firstly, I'm not going to run down a laundry list of benefits because frankly, the Delta Reserve card it has some, but not as much as you would expect, especially with a co-branded card with American Express. This normally has very good benefits. The Delta Reserve card, in a nutshell, is simply stated, it is not an earner's card. In other words, if you are looking to maximize points, if you are looking to optimize points, this isn't the card for you. And now, meanwhile, the Platinum, the level right below it, actually has much better multipliers, meaning that both cards get 3x on Delta purchases, 1x on non-category purchases, but the Platinum has 2x on supermarkets and restaurants. So essentially, the only reason we're saying that the Delta Reserve has 2 multipliers is because it literally takes 2 sentences to tell you that it has 3x on Delta and 1x on everything else. It's not an earner's card. So optimization just is out the window. Let's just make sure we know where we're going with this. So then we think to ourselves, okay, what other perks and benefits does it have? Of course, it's a travel card, so it's going to have AAA insurance, it's going to have baggage insurance, and that is all well and good. So let's get to the annual fee. It's $550 a year. Now compare that to the Platinum right below it, which is $250. So then you ask yourself, okay, so why am I paying twice the fee for one less multiplier, which essentially took me out of the game, period. But when you realize some of the things that fee covers, you're going to understand where this card is going to be, where it's going to fall as far as who needs it. So now with that $550 fee, you essentially get a Delta Sky Club membership. So you can access all the Delta Sky Clubs for free when you fly Delta. And you also get access to the American Express Centurion the Centurion Lounge network as well. And this is the only card that's not a Centurion card or an Amex Platinum that will get you access on the condition that you are flying a paid Delta flight. Always remember, you have to be flying a paid Delta flight. If you roll up with your Delta Reserve card and you're flying American, not gonna work for you. I suggest you don't try it. There's no point in looking ridiculous. So now we've covered the annual fee. We know this is not an earner card because there are no multipliers. What this card boils down to is really its real superpower, and that is the companion pass. On your renewal of the card, you get a companion pass, meaning that if you buy a ticket for any class of Delta flight from comfort class up, I'm not even going to include the main cabin because the SkyMiles Platinum card actually covers that, and we're just talking about the reserve. So if you buy a ticket for Comfort Plus or first class all the way up, you actually get another ticket for free, little star. Here's the fine print. You have to pay the taxes, and that includes up to a maximum of $75, which is a powerful benefit. The average cost of a cross-country that I've seen on Delta, the average cost of a cross-country first-class ticket is about $2,200. So if you think about it this way, you pay $2,200, of course, plus taxes and fees in the $75. With that free ticket, that can actually offset up to about 3 years of annual fees that you otherwise would have gotten. This companion ticket is offered to you every year amongst renewal. So that is the reserve superpower. So now, I've told you all the stuff you probably already know because you've already watched people with way more followers than me and channels much bigger than me tell you all of this. So now you want to know, all right, chat, you've made it very clear it's a spender's card. Spenders can spend. That's great. I'm not a spender. I'm here on YouTube and watching you. Tell me something I don't know. And here we go. All right, essentially, airline cards, and I'll just stick with the Delta family. I know the most about the Delta family because that's the card that I have, and Delta is my preferred airline. The reason it's my preferred airline is not essentially because they're the best, because I've had bad experiences on Delta too, but Delta has been the airline that I could feel like I could accurately predict that my experience would be the same regardless of whether I was flying to Columbus, Ohio, or Medford, Oregon, or Las Vegas, Nevada, or New York, New York. The experience of using the airline has been fairly uniform to me. That's just my personal experience, and that's why I choose to be a Delta loyalist, which I am. Normally, most of my flights connect out of Atlanta, so I'm intimately aware of the Atlanta airport and Delta's base of operations. Now, here's for the things that you don't know and how this card, with its $550 annual fee and its horrible multipliers, could actually benefit someone like you and me. So let's take, for instance, South Florida. I reside in South Florida, and the average rent in South Florida is just under $2,900 a month. With all the rent spikes, and you have people doubling up, people are rooming together. So let's use a nice round number, like $3,000 a month, right? Let's say you have a place for $3,000 a month, and you decide to get the Delta Reserve. You're working, you have things going on. Someone with a rent of $3,000 a month that uses the Delta Reserve to pay for it, because it's not an extra expenditure, because regardless of whether you have the card or not, you were going to spend that money to live anyway. So we're not even going to count that as the balance carrying forward, because you're going to pay that every single month. At $3,000 a month, by the time you pay September's rent, if you start in January, you've already spent enough to hit the MQD waiver, which will get you status with Delta. And we're going to get into that. By the time you get to the 10th month, after you've paid October, you now have silver status on Delta Airlines, and you haven't set foot on a plane yet. Of course, by September, you've already put $36,000 worth of spend on this card. Now, that is the only reason I would really suggest anybody put that kind of spend on the card, because basically it's going to be a sock drawer card anyway, but at least you can keep up a good standing and get some spend on it. So now let's drill down into the rest of it. So currently, in order to sign up for a reserve card, the sign-up bonus, let's get into that. The sign-up bonus is currently 50,000 miles as of this filming. 50,000 miles plus 10,000 10,000 MQM, that is Medallion Qualifying Miles, which are different from the bonus miles. The 50,000 are the miles that you can spend on upgrades, drinks in the lounge, and the MQMs are flying but in the seat miles that Delta wants you to fly in order to get status so that you can be qualified for updates. Those are your upgrades. Those are your Medallion Qualifying Miles. And that is for $3,000 of spend within the first 3 months. Now, you could also be targeted, as I was, you can be targeted for 125,000 bonus miles plus the same 10,000 MQM miles for $5,000 worth of spend within that same 3-month period. So at this point, you can feel free to use your incognito browser if you are interested in the card, but those are some of the benefits, some of the offers that are out there for a sign-up bonus. So now, we're gonna scrub some numbers as far as what kind of spend will do what. If you include the 50,000 bonus miles plus the 10,000 MQMs, by the time you get to that same September timeframe that I told you, you have, firstly, let's back it up. If you need to spend $3,000 in 3 months, literally with your rent in South Florida at $3,000 a month, by month number 1, you've hit your sign-up bonus. Now, silver status with Delta requires spending $3,000 plus having 25,000 MQMs. So now from the sign-on bonus, you get 10,000 MQMs and you've already hit $3,000. Boom, you're halfway there. You haven't sat in a Delta seat at all. So now, once again, getting to September, now all of a sudden, you've hit a waiver. So now, for Delta status for silver, and for gold, and for platinum, you're now waived of the spending requirement. Plus, one of the benefits of the card is a status boost. So now this is where we get into, by the time you pay October's rent and you've spent $30,000 on that card, guess what Delta gives you? 15,000 MQMs. Now you're silver status and you haven't sat in a plane at all. You just show up to the airport and you are instantly available for upgrades and all the benefits. So that's how a normal person could possibly use this card. This is not ridiculous spending. This is not out of this world spending, but you can use a sock drawer card, which you then can eventually use to buy a first class ticket, get another first class ticket free, which then helps it pay for itself. And you still haven't incurred a ton of expenses that you otherwise wouldn't have incurred, because we all know that you're going to be responsible with the card and you're going to pay it off anyway, because you're just using it to pay rent or some sort of static expense that you would pay anyway if you didn't have a card, but it's a great way to get return. So I just wanted to show you that point to show you how a normal person could actually use this. Now, who would I specifically recommend this to? To be honest with you, I would recommend it to a Delta loyalist who connects through one of the major Delta hubs or even lives in one of those cities, whether it be Atlanta, Detroit, Minneapolis, Salt Lake City, or Seattle. Those are a lot of the big ones. Tons of Delta traffic go through there. I would recommend it for a Delta loyalist there who maybe is just getting into the miles game and doesn't want something too complicated, because they can still get a return on their money. I mean, now obviously it won't be like someone who's running multiple trifectas or has their stuff really all zipped up, but it can give them a taste of what it is to earn miles towards aspirational travel. And then also you get a free plane ticket on an airline that has a pretty good reputation and also has great tiers of service, noticeably different tiers of service that you can enjoy and actually grade. One of the other points of carrying an airline card is basically to get what I call status light. 9 times out of 10, when you carry an airline card, just to be a member, it will provide you with some of the benefits as if you had status anyway. One of the big ones that a lot of people kind of blow by, but it carries a lot of value, is checked bags. Checked bags It's $30 a piece on average. I can tell you with Delta, they're $30 a piece, right? So if you have a free check bag on a round trip ticket that you don't have to pay for, that's $60 for one trip. If you have the Delta SkyMiles Platinum, all you have to do is take 4 trips and the free check bag alone pays for the card. That's it. It's over with. You have now negated your annual fee. And the same thing happens with the reserve card, because you also get that too. When you first get the card, you are obviously going to get what I call status light. You can come in, you get main cabin priority boarding. You have, that way you can get some of that overhead space before it gets used up. You get a free check bag, not just for you, but for you and up to 8 other people you may be traveling with, as long as the tickets are paid on your card, which I think is pretty sweet. If you go on a group trip and if you're using the card and everyone's just reimbursing you, everybody saves $30. You know what I mean? And that's each way. And that's for their check bag. That is just a value in and of itself. So this is one of the reasons I would totally suggest this to somebody just getting in, so they can just get a taste of it. Another benefit. One thing about holding the Delta Reserve card is that it gives you upgrade priority against people who are in your Medallion class. So now most people, they kind of turn up their nose, oh, silver's the lowest status, but on Delta, silver gets you upgraded. I am personally a silver, I'm almost a gold, and frankly, I've been upgraded on more trips than I thought I ever would, even connecting out of Atlanta, where almost everybody has status, because that is just Delta world. So please don't let anybody tell you that silver isn't anything. But what the reserve card gives you as a status holder, once you have Medallion status, if you're a silver and I'm a silver, I don't care how many years you've been flying with Delta, I don't even care if you're closer to gold than me, I instantly get priority over you. Same thing if we were gold, if we were diamond, if we were platinum, it wouldn't even matter, because I instantly get upgrade priority if there's a decision to be made. And that can mean the difference between, hey, maybe I'm in Comfort Plus, or maybe I'm in first class, or maybe I'm in main cabin, or maybe I'm in Delta One over you. So that is actually something that, it's kind of a little bump that card members get, which I think is a good benefit that can actually coincide with some of the other benefits of the card. So now also that will also give the beginner, that will also give the first timer, the status light participant, a taste of, okay, this is how the other side travels. So yeah, as a recap, I just wanted to explain, I just felt like I've been watching videos and I've just noticed that the Delta Reserve just really gotten a bad rap. I totally see where optimizers and points hunters would dislike this card. I totally get it. But, maybe it's just not for your purpose. Beyond the sign-on bonus, which can be lucrative, like I said, they range. You can get the standard 50,000, or if they target you, you may get 125,000 bonus miles that you can use to purchase Delta flights and such and what have you. Even last year during COVID, the sign-on bonus, the regular sign-on bonus was actually 80,000 bonus miles plus 20,000 MQMs. That's just a hair's breadth away from silver status, just for spending $3,000 in the first 3 months. So they were almost giving away status, which also can get you free upgrades. I have to reiterate that. And it is really nice when you're walking onto a plane, expecting to sit on a middle seat, only to find yourself in first class. I know it has happened to me, and it is a fantastic feeling that I look forward to feeling again. But that's just a recap of the card. The card's not a bad card, but you do pay a premium card fee because it is a premium card. And regardless of what people may want to say, access to the Centurion Lounge Network kind of qualifies it as a premium card. You also get a priority pass select membership as well, so you do get access to those clubs as well. And then in addition to that, the Delta Sky Club membership that comes attached to it. And really and truly, if you paid for that, outside of having the card, it's right around the same price. So this annual fee you can think of is actually getting you your membership, plus you get 2 free passes once a year, whoopee. And with the Centurion access as well, but any guest that you have to bring in, you have to pay $50 per person. I think you get 2. You know, you're actually getting more value. And the $550, it's enough to scare off people who aren't, you know, ready to look at the value as it comes. But then other people who know what these benefits are worth, they just jump right on it, especially when they know this is a spender's card. High spenders, they take it, they get the points, they do what they have to do, and they enjoy their first class ticket. So I just wanted to give you my little synopsis, my little opinion about the Delta Reserve card. I actually think it's a good card. Do I have it? No. Am I probably going to get it? Probably not, since I already have the Platinum and I'm more so into earning than I am a big spender. So really for me, I have other stuff that's going on that's actually going to preclude me from getting the card. Would I suggest it for someone just getting in? Yes. Would I actually, if I could turn back, would I have started with the Platinum or would I have started with the Reserve? To be honest with you, I would have started with the Reserve. And had I started with the Reserve, I probably would have kept it, just like I'm keeping the Platinum, because that also comes with its own set of things. And we'll get into that when I review the Platinum card, because I'm coming up on a year of having that. And, you know, I just want to let you guys in to see how it worked out for me. But I guess that's it. I just wanted to, you know, reach out. It's been a while since I talked to you, and I'll see you guys later. Take it easy.